In this video, we are going to talk about 3 reasons why you rebel as a fearful avoidant and why that's a good thing. I'm Pauline and I am so happy you are here because secretly this might be one of my favorite things about the fearful avoidant. Um, and that doesn't mean that this whole rebelling thing is just a good thing, because I know it has caused me a lot of trouble, a lot of energy also. Um, and I so remember just thinking, my gosh, why can't I just do something? Why can't I just comply? Why can't I just get it over with? Why do I have to rebel always? And understanding why really helped me so much in actually embracing that part of me and liking it more and more, which in turn helps you to like and love yourself, which I so want for you. So, 3 reasons. The first reason is that you had to do so much. I think out of all the insecure attachment styles, the fearful avoidant had the highest chance, you have the highest chance of having had a authoritative um, parent figure or parenting style, which means that you just got told what to do. And sometimes it wasn't even really explained. And that makes you kind of allergic. It could be that your parents, with the best intentions mostly, um, felt like raising a child meant they just had to listen and just had to do stuff. So they kind of gave you things to do and told you things to do instead of really making it a conversation. And it's so logical that then when you grow older and you finally have the freedom to make your own choices, that you are kind of allergic to having to do things. And that can alone cause you to rebel against anything you have to do or anything you should do, because oh my gosh, the shoulds, right? My goodness. I remember when I was younger there were so many shoulds. And the interesting thing is, and this is so important to know, is that you still internalize those voices. Even if you rebel, even if you choose to do things differently, you still have those choices. So you're still living with the guilt, the shoulds in your head. I should be doing more. I should be working harder. I should be more perfect. I should be eating better. I should be taking care of myself better. I should go outside because it's a beautiful day. And that's probably what your parents just kept telling you, instead of them just trusting your own natural instincts, or maybe even being interested in your own natural instincts. So knowing that it's so logical that you have this allergy against having to do things or shooting to do things. That's not good English. It's so logical that you have that. So embrace it and be kind to yourself, because you rebelling is actually a wonderful thing, and I will go into that maybe a little bit more at the end of the video. But as long as you're living with the guilt also, then it is just gonna be a struggle. And that might be what you're in right now, and what you recognize, that it's actually keeping you from doing the things that you want to do. All right, I'm going to the next point. There's so much to talk about here. Your feelings weren't taken into account. So, like I said, most fearful avoidants have a higher chance of having an authoritative parent or parent figure. And that goes kind of hand in hand with that your feelings probably weren't taken into account. You probably didn't feel taken seriously, um, because your parents really didn't ask much. They maybe didn't even have the capacity to really empathize, which means that they could see the world from your perspective, because the world from a child's perspective is so vastly different than it is from an adult's perspective. So an adult can think, no, but this just has to be done, so my child has to do it and they have to listen to me. While for that child, it could be that you're scared of something. Something is not clear to you yet. There are reasons why you don't want to do something, and yet you got told to do it, and when you didn't do it, you just got punished because your parent assumed that you didn't do it because you didn't want to. And that's pretty much never the case with children. Children want to um, be they want to be good. They want to um, make you happy. They want to, I'm looking for a word, they want to comply in a way. I mean, of course, there are phases. My baby girl is turning 2, and she's going through the, we call it like baby puberty, um, which is amazing to see. But I can see how a lot of parents are just frustrated by this, and they feel like their child has to listen, and they don't. I've learned that children don't have to listen. They don't have to. Um, okay, that's a whole different discussion. I want to talk about everything for an hour. You know me. So I'm gonna leave that for a bit. Maybe a next video. But then, when your feelings weren't taken into account, choosing to rebel is actually, it feels like choosing to stay faithful to you. Because saying yes to whatever is asked of you or whatever is expected of you, it means that your needs don't matter and your feelings aren't taken into account. So rebelling against that and doing uh, the exact opposite of just a completely different way is a way for you to stay close to you and your feelings and your needs. And it gives you that feeling that you're close to you and your feelings and your needs, because um, in a way you're not. It's, you're just so used to the fact that when you comply, when you do as you're told, when you do the shoulds, that your needs just don't matter anymore, that it almost feels scary to comply and to do what is asked of you, even if that would be what you want. So it's hard for you to distinguish, identify what it is you actually want. It is easier for you to go into that rebellious mode and to just say no, just to be sure that, my needs are taken into account. So that brings me to the third thing, is that when you do say yes, when you do comply, you feel like you're losing control. And there's a very important thing that all FAs, all fearful avoidants need to learn, but that will really help you heal this, and that is putting up boundaries. And chances are quite high that when you were younger, your boundaries just did not matter. You could say no, but it didn't matter. And maybe you even got yelled at or scolded at just because you said no, because that felt like a personal attack to one of your caregivers. So putting up boundaries is so important, because what happens if you don't have boundaries? This is so interesting, and I will talk in another video more about this, but a lot of people feel, if you're not used to putting up boundaries, you feel like putting up boundaries is selfish and it will create a disconnect. Well, actually, boundaries are so necessary to create healthy relationships, because what happens if you don't put up boundaries and you feel like you can't or you shouldn't, then when you say yes, that's like giving over complete control. So just imagine your partner wants to go out on a day together and you really don't really want to. You need some time for yourself. You need to just breathe, or you just want to take a relaxing bath. You feel like, when I say yes to that day going out, I am giving over complete control. My needs don't matter anymore. I'm not going to get that bath. I'm not going to get that time for myself. And it makes sense then that you just say no to the whole day, and you feel like your partner is clingy, or you feel like they are asking too much, or so. Putting up boundaries and saying, oh, I would love to do something with you, but I also really need some time for myself, and I really would like to take a bath. So those are very important priorities for me. Let's see how we can do both. That's already a boundary. You're just working out how you can meet your needs while also doing that other thing that you actually might like, going out on a date with your partner. So it feels like when you don't rebel, you lose control, which feels weird, right? Because rebelling is like going into the unknown and is always seen as like an adventurous thing. So in a way that might feel like you lose control, but for the fearful avoidant, it's actually losing control to comply, to say yes, to go along. And this is not a bad thing. It really is not a bad thing. But The struggle here is that when you've not healed the fearful avoidant attachment style, you will just say no out of allergy, out of resistance, out of trauma, really, out of an old wound, out old pain. And you are not sincerely and purely feeling what you want and what you need. And it could be that what you want and what you need is a little bit of saying yes and a little bit of saying no. So this is what a lot of fearful avoidants do in all areas, is make it really black and white. Either complete no, complete yes. You might recognize that. That's also very fearful avoidant behavior. And boundaries will help you heal this by also accepting the nuances. So not black and white, not completely no, not completely yes, but no to that and yes to that. And this is what I need, and this is what I feel like doing today. And that's really important. And when you do that, and when you start healing the fearful avoidant attachment style, you will notice that this rebelling, there is so much bravery and courage in it. And you, my friend, are so capable of seeing things from different perspectives where other people do not have that capacity, just because you have a tendency to rebel. You are not afraid to go on a path that has not been the unbeaten path, that has not been gone before. You are not afraid to be on your own for a while and do that brave thing, which can give you so much in your life. It truly can give you such beautiful things. And I still, to this day, I definitely healed the fearful avoidant attachment style. And I'm just kind of amazed that so many people just do what everybody else is doing and just kind of live the life that was expected of them. And that is why I think this whole rebellious thing is just so amazing, because I truly, truly believe that you are here for a reason. You are on this earth for a reason. You are so incredibly valuable. You have no idea. And the more you are yourself, and the more you just choose your own path, the more you easily and effortlessly share those gifts with the world. And that will make the world a more valuable place. While I feel like there are so many people who just live the life that is expected of them, and that just kind of sometimes breaks my heart. And I think a lot of people are actually quite happy doing that. So that's totally fine. Everybody's different. But I just wish that everybody would choose their own life and their own path. And that doesn't mean that it's away from other people and that it's out of connection completely. Not at all. I think quite the opposite. But it is the courage to say no when yes is expected, or to say yes when no is expected, and to do what you really want to do. And I think the fearful avoidant has that capacity more than others, especially when you start healing the attachment style and start feeling more and more safe in the world. But then you will, the world can just open up for you. And there's so much you can do because of this. So the rebellious thing is not a bad thing, but it can be a struggle and can get in your own way when you haven't healed the attachment style yet. In the online program that is in development and will be done hopefully by the end of this summer, we will dive into that. There will be actually mini courses on so many really specific topics that are just not talked about enough, but are also don't have specific healing strategies. And they will all be in the online program, and you will get the mini courses, the pathways that you need in the moment. So when you're struggling with this whole rebellious thing and you only want the gifts from it and not the struggles and the way it gets in your own way, then that's what you'll find in the online program, and you can heal this and really start experiencing gifts. And I'm so excited. I am so happy I get to do this. I am so happy you are here. I am so happy I will and am seeing you heal. And if you want to sign up for the waitlist, the link is in the description below, or obviously when the program is ready, I will talk about that more on this YouTube channel, but check the link in the description below because it could be that the program is out already. I am so happy you're here, and I will see you in the next one.